Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, JBD Online, right here in the JBD Show. Just letting y'all know, today we're gonna talk about a small subject. It's not gonna be very long. It's gonna be short. I want to talk about nightmares. I know many of our viewers experience nightmares daily, and most of the time we don't know what to do with nightmares that come. Um, Most of the time, we're traumatized by abuse. We were either raised wrong in the childhood, we were raised wrong, our parents abused us, or maybe our best friends abused us, or people we trust and confide in abuse us, or they take advantage of us. And it causes us to have nightmares of certain things, rejection, fear, stuff like that. Another thing is sometimes we eat heavy. It's best said that when you eat a lot before you go to bed, you end up having nightmares. So we tend to eat light before going to bed so we could not dream heavily. Of course, you could always eat anything you want to eat, but food tends to cause nightmares whenever you eat too much. If you eat one slice or two slices of pizza, it shouldn't be a problem. But if you eat a whole box of pizza, then a problem should occur. Um, Another thing is the way we have our mindset. Sometimes we don't relax our mind. We don't focus on our mind. They once told me that in order to control anxiety, you have to take breathing steps. Like breathe, like and let it out. Inhale for 4 seconds and let it out. And and I think when you tend to have your mind occupied and positive things, nightmares will be away. They'll be gone from your life. Like before, if you watch a horror movie, it's okay to watch a horror movie. But if you watch a horror movie and then you go to sleep, you bet your ass you're gonna have a nightmare. So my recommendation is watch that horror movie and then watch something funny like a sitcom, like King of Queens or Frasier or Will and Grace. Watch something funny so that comedy laughter could overcome the fear of the horror movie. Of course, most movies nowadays don't really get you scared, but there are some movies that will get you scared and get you to have nightmares. And like there's ways around it. The best way to control if you're having constant nightmares, you're probably gonna need therapy and you probably might need medication. But if you're just having nightmares every so often, there's ways to control the nightmares, and that is just by controlling your mindset. I know it's easier than it looks, but it's not. It's really really hard. When you have rejection in your life, and you have depression, and you have anxiety, and you might have fear. Some people are afraid of the dark. I seen adults, they sleep with night lights because they're afraid of the dark. And if the nightlight goes off, they end up having nightmare that night. But if you focus on the positivity, if you focus that you matter, you value, if you focus that you are higher and bigger than any obstacle, it shouldn't affect you. You might still have nightmares, but it shouldn't affect you. There comes to a point where people have so much nightmares that they can't go to sleep. So and yeah, there is sleeping pills to get you to sleep. But if you having nightmares, my recommendation is not to get you to sleep because you're gonna be asleep, won't be able to wake up, and you'll be in that nightmare all night long. You know, and so you have to take healthy habits to control these nightmares, and where it comes to a point where it don't affect you. You might still think about it, but it's not gonna affect you. Overcome it with positivity, overcome it with good obstacles, with good habits. You know, a lot of times before I go to sleep, I like to smoke a cigarette, and sometimes I realize that cigarette cause me to have nightmares, so I try not to smoke before I go to bed. Of course, for other people, it's different. Everybody has their way of turning it on and turning it off. What we need to do is find a way to turn it off. And 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 you might think that it doesn't impact our life, but having nightmares does impact our life because we don't get good enough sleep. We wake up like paranoid. We be thinking bad about everybody, and we even have a mean attitude towards the people. And we need to know how to love people, and we need to know how to have a positive change to the community. And and you know what they say: if you don't get a good night's sleep, the whole day goes to waste. And so, what better day than to sleep peacefully and have no nightmares? That brings me to a point. Sometimes if I'm depressed, or if I'm scared of something, or something bad's about to happen, and I don't know what to do, and I'm worried, I like to put piano music or instrumental music all night long. I believe there's on YouTube there's instrumental music that lasts 8 hours. Sometimes they last more. So you could just play that piano music and they'll be playing for 8 hours, and it just sets the mood and it knocks you to sleep. There's ways around it. You might not like music all night long, but maybe for 30 minutes or maybe for 20 minutes. I notice some people they sleep with the TV on, and that's a good way too. That's waking up at 3 in the morning and hearing maybe a funny comment from a TV show, and you go back to sleep. So that's a good way. And they're just drinking some water so you can wake up to go pee, and just in case you get stuck in a nightmare. But there's ways around it, people. This is JBD Online. Just saying a quick shout out. I'd like to congratulate myself for turning 35 this last week. Thank y'all for your comments and reviews. God bless y'all, and I'll be having more topics. I don't know if I'll do another topic this month, but I know for August I'll be having another topic. Stay tuned. Visit the www.thejbduniverse.com. Follow us on social media. Share this to people that you know. And if y'all have a specific topic y'all want to talk about, inbox me and we'll make it through. But other than that, y'all have a good night and don't let the bed bugs bite.